The snake drill is a classic warm-up drill for goalies to feel the ball and players to get their sticks dialed in while shooting on the run, which is realistically the style of shot that gets taken, I could safely say about 75% of the time during a game. For beginners, coaches should provide a demo for how to effectively shoot on the run with power and then later accuracy. If players don't learn how to use their body momentum and transfer their weight from their back foot to their front foot while running, the shot will likely be what we call a muffin, or basically passing it to the goalie instead of really shooting it. It is important to figure this out while stationary, practicing step down or set shots as I like to call them, before eventually learning how to shoot on the run. This skill must be stabilized first. The key to getting power on a shot on the run is to reach and rotate, as we like to use for a cue. Reach your arms back, then transfer your weight forward by rotating your torso for power and following through to the target for accuracy. If it's all arms, it will be a muffin. In terms of accuracy, this drill is used even by advanced players to work on fine-tuning the release points on their stick, with both players and goalies getting a high volume of reps in a short amount of time. There are many different ways to set up and orient the snake drill. In general, you begin in one end of the floor with lines of lefts and rights on their proper floor side. It's not usually done in both ends of the floor unless there's an abundance of players. Otherwise, because the drill is often used as a pre-game warm-up drill where you only have one end of the floor during the warm-up. The first player in one of the lines leads a group towards the net, either lefts or rights, with one group going and then the other. The next player in line goes after the player in front of them is approximately 5 meters or 1 to 2 seconds in front of them. Another option is to send players in groups of 3, giving a high, mid, and low shot. Otherwise, you can also run the drill sending one player at a time and alternating sides each rep. Players should be sure to hit the goalie in the chest or leg pads on the first couple of shots. After that, players can work on their accuracy, shooting around the pipes, and picking corners. For all subsequent drill variations, after a player shoots, they should eventually be taught to react back, sprinting the length of the floor, collecting a loose ball on the way if possible, and then lining up in the same formation in the opposite end of the floor, or just sprinting to the restraining line and lining up again in the same end. Variation number 1 is the high variations. Start with lines of players near where the restraining line meets the inside lane, which is variation number 1A, or in the outside lane, wide of the shooter position, which is variation number 1B. In variation number 1A, shots should be taken on the run while moving north-south in orientation. In variation number 1B, shots should be taken on the run while sweeping east-west in orientation. Each group should go twice from each of these two spots, which allows for 2 goalies to get shots from each area. Both high variations should have players shooting from a relatively far distance away based on their age, using a pylon as a marker if necessary. The snake can happen both on ball, as shown in this video, or off ball, with the opposite side feeding them passes, and not shown in this video. It is also possible to send passes to the person in front of you in the snake line to the outside lane or inside lane, which emulates a pick and roll scenario. Assistant coaches should be active in collecting balls to help reload the players after each time through the drill, with players on the opposite side of the floor also helping out with this process as well. Variation number 2 is the low variations, which are the same as the high variations, except start with lines at the mid boards, which is variation number 2A, or at or near where goal line extended meets the sideboards, which is variation number 2B. In variation number 2A, players should sweep east-west through the middle and take a shot on the run. And in variation number 2B, players do a crease walk across the front of the net. Coaches can place a stick on the floor as a marker if players continue to shoot from the wrong floor side. Otherwise, coaches should also deter players from throwing a series of fakes, which can disrupt the flow of the drill. Variation number 2C is to first send a rebound off the boards, trying to time it so the ball arrives in front of the net for a quick shot in tight on the goalie. Variation number 3 is the game to 7 used to add competition. Play a game of lefties versus righties up to 7 goals, with the losing team doing push-ups, sit-ups, planks, bodyweight squats, sprints, or something like that. In variation number 4, Coaches can ask for corner-specific shots on the goalies. Any of the previous variations can also be done with the coach telling the goalie and/or players which corner the players will be shooting at prior to starting the drill or between reps. Coaches also have the option to tell a few players in line to mix it up, unbeknownst to the goaltender, and ultimately keeping them honest. Variation number 5 is for players to purposefully mix up their release points. They should be instructed to take certain types of shots without letting the goalies know, whether overhand, sidearm, underhand, or bounce shots. Lastly, variation number 6 is collecting rebounds off the goalie, which was always a personal favorite of mine. After a player shoots or while the other side is shooting, individual players can stand close to the net and practice corralling rebounds off the goalie, which is a game-specific skill that is hard to replicate.